Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy and I like to talk about things in real life, and that includes makeup and makeup panning. And today is a makeup video. More specifically, it's a get ready with me, which is why my face is naked and I'm practically naked because we are finally here in the Pacific Northwest are finally having the heat wave that the rest of the country is having. So it is like 12 in the afternoon and it is 80 degrees outside. So I'm wearing a bathing suit top, and yeah, we're just gonna get into this and I'm gonna tell you a story. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. Alright, welcome. Recently, in my Child of the 80s Project Pan video, I mentioned I got the prompt Lost Boys, and I mentioned I had a story behind that and asked if you wanted to hear it, and some people said, yeah, I do. Sorry, I'm just checking if that's... I put on primer, and I also have sunscreen on, so I'm, just rubbing it in. Anyway, that's all I have. Primer, I primed my face and my eyes, so let's get started on the rest of it while I talk. So, yes, Lost Boys is one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it in forever, though, but it is one of my favorite movies because of the story and the adventure that went with going to see it. Just applying some shape tape, ultra creamy shape tape from Tarte, a little deluxe sample, concealer. So I had to do some fact checking to make sure, because it's been a while since this adventure happened. So one, I had to check when the movie came out to remember how old I was, because I don't remember how old I was. So Lost Boys came out in 1987. I just looked it up on Google, so I know that for a fact. And that means I was 13 at the time. The movie was rated R. And I was determined to see it. So I lived at the time in a small ruralish city in Washington. It had a strip mall, but it didn't have a shopping mall. And I think it had a one-screen cinema. But I don't remember ever seeing any movies there, so there might not have been a cinema. So one afternoon, I don't remember when, and I don't remember what time of year it was, but I'm sure it was, not a school day. Oh. I just started using this e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, so I'm still trying to figure out best way to apply it. So pardon me if it's a little bit spotty. So I was an expert at riding public transit. That is what I did as a 13-year-old to get around town. It was a small enough town, and it was, the 80s, so kids ran around town without parents, and things were relatively fine. But there was a larger city, not super city like Seattle, but a larger city nearby that did have a shopping mall and a cinema, multiple screen cinema. So myself and one or two of my friends, I don't remember, took the bus from my small city to the larger city and on to the shopping mall in the afternoon. And I was a mall rat. It was the 80s. Mall rat, being a mall rat was pretty common for teenagers at that time. meaning I spent a lot of time at the mall and the arcades, because they used to have arcades in the malls and, you know, Hot Topics and what have you. And actually, I don't know if they had Hot Topic back then, but, you know, the equivalent shopping stores and things. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Just gonna set that down with a little powder. NYX High Finish Translucent Powder. So we went to the mall in the afternoon. Probably had lunch. But being 13, in order to see an R-rated movie, you have to have a chaperone who is over 18. Which either we didn't know or didn't think about. Because all of us were 13 or 14. So, you know, all underage. So we got to the cinema and they wouldn't sell us a ticket. And that was like an afternoon matinee. And we're like, okay, so we started asking people to be our chaperone. Not much luck. You know, there are 3 13-year-old girls at the mall asking you to be their chaperone to an R-rated movie. Didn't have much luck. So we kept trying though. But once that showing had stopped letting people in, we moved on and did other mall things. And decided we'll try for the next showing. So we did. And then, so that was probably in the afternoon. I'd say maybe like 2-ish. So the next showing would have been like 4 or 5 p.m. So, you know, we did the hang around the mall, eat the stuff, eat the food, do some shopping, what have you. And then the next showing came around. And I'm just going into my BH 8000 for a little contour bronzing action. So yeah, we hung around to the next showing, which was in the evening, and then stood around asking people to be our chaperone, our guardian. And finally, I think it was a teenage girl, young woman, said yes. So, yay! We got to go see the movie. Now it's 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So, not a big deal. It must not have been summer. It might have been like in between. So yay, we got to go see the movie. Some stranger said, yeah, they're with me. And we saw the movie. Fun times. So we get out of the movie. It's after dark. The mall is closing. And there are no more buses going home. So, what does any young teen do when they are stranded in another city? I called my mom. Mom, come get us! And she did. But she was not happy about it. So, I got grounded, but I got to go see the movie. You know, out at late at night. The movie must have been later than like 5 or 6. It was probably more like a 7 o'clock showing. But anyway, it was a later showing. And, yeah, we got out and it was dark and the mall was closing. And we couldn't go home because there weren't any buses. So yeah, that's my story. My memory about going to see The Lost Boys. And one of the reasons it's one of my favorites, and because the adventure that went along with it, and the, being a daring, woof, that is powerful blush, being a daring young thing who, went to go see a movie that they weren't old enough to see and had no plan. I spent a lot of time being grounded when I was a teenager, because I like to do things I wasn't supposed to. Mainly going out and, doing things when I wasn't supposed to. Staying out past curfew, getting caught sneaking out, stuff like that. Ooh, this is an intense blush. I don't think it looks too bad. It's just really, that was like barely tapping my brush in it. So this is the Will Powder brush in Perseverance, and I just kind of tapped in there and then even tapped it off and like brushed it on, and my light died. So yeah, sorry about that. We'll just have to keep going with the rest of the light. Shift in my seat because I'm sweating. I even have a fan blowing on me and it's not helping too much. Alright, so yeah, I mean, it's not a great big long story, I guess. I wish I remembered more of the details, but the point is it's one of my favorite movies, and it's a favorite movie because of the adventure that went along with it. Just going out on my own, asking strangers to be your guardian chaperone at a R-rated movie. Oh, that's a lot. This is my highlighter from my Pan That palette in Sheesh. Have to be careful. It's so powdery that like I try to pick up just a little bit and I get a ton. Kind of soften it out. Dip, dip, dip. Just barely touch it and got tons of color. So did any of you ever do that, sneak out to go see a movie that you weren't supposed to see? Or is that just, something a rebellious young me did? I bet there are others who went out and did things like that. I want to hear your stories. What movies did you sneak out to go see that you weren't supposed to? Alright. Think the face is good. I should really learn to do my eyes before my face because I inevitably have fallouts that makes my face just turn weird colors. Alright. I also need to trim up my brows. They're getting a little out of control. Anyway, yeah. But I've always been a fan of vampire themed movies, so, and it was the 80s. I was a big fan of the Coreys. Alright, let me do my brows and I will be right back. Okay, I don't know why my brows always look redder on camera than in real life, I think. I don't know. I gotta find a brow pencil that's a good shade. So, yes. So yeah, that was my story. It's kind of short, actually. Now I wish I'd done more of my makeup before I started, because now I have all this other stuff to do. One moment. Oh, there it is. I was like, where did my towel go? Okay. So yeah, I thought I was gonna... I debated between doing like a vampire-y look or a summery look. And since it's so hot and I have this intense blush look, we're gonna go with summery. So, yeah. Trying to think of other favorite movies I had from the 80s. I mean, all the... Pretty in Pink was a favorite. I liked Annie Potts character the best from Pretty in Pink. Okay, so I just took a little bit of gold and tapped that over the lids. I tried it on a lower lash line and it didn't show up, so I topped that with some green, and then we're going to go in and line my eyes and lashes. So let me do that and be right back. Okay, that is the finished look. Let me zoom you back out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Very 80s look, I think. The lip color is just my green lipstick with a pH balance, and yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, Yay! Thank you. Tell me your stories if you went to sneak in to see any movies that you weren't supposed to. Um, yeah. And what are your favorite memories from the 80s? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, leave a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. They all mean a lot to me. And I think this goes with my outfit. The pink and the blue and the gold. Anyway, until my next video, take care of yourselves. Bye.